Welcome to Turkey Valley at 50 and the 2000s. What a good program we have lined up, as we have four young people who graduated in the 2000s. We'll talk with Grant Cuvelier, who was Turkey of the Year, Megan Lukes, who was a homecoming queen and scored a big run for her softball team, and also we'll be talking with Hannah Achen, who was a young lady that put together that modern-day Trojan some of you may have seen. And then we'll wind up the program with Paul Meirick, who currently is in medical school. So a well-rounded program for you, the decade of the 2000s, being brought to you by Seed Solutions and John Cuvelier of Insurance Associates of Lawler. Let's pick up now with Grant Cuvelier, who was Turkey of the Year back in 2008, and we'll follow him up with Megan Lukes.
Talking with Grant Cuvelier, graduate of 2009. He's from Lawler, and he was Turkey of the Year back in 2008. And Grant, when I was young, and probably your father too, back in the 70s and 80s, being called a turkey wasn't exactly the greatest compliment in the world. But today, you guys really embrace this. Being named Turkey of the Year at Turkey Valley is quite the honor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a big tradition for a few years now, and it's a great award to get.
And you are elected right by the student body or by the seniors? How does that work?
It's just by the senior class. They have a vote off, and then you pick between everyone in the class, and then it gets down to about 5 or 6 nominees, I want to say, and then you make your final vote.
Do you actually campaign for it then? Does any of that take place? No? You just hope that you've earned it through the years, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's the whole class list, and then about a week later they have a list of 6 people that got voted the most on the paper, and then you just make the final vote.
And Chuck Hoffenberger, who used to write for the Des Moines Register, was called the Iowa Boy. I think he has a website now. And he comes and he feeds the entire family, right?
Yeah, he buys you a turkey, and then you at Huber's store in Fort Atkinson, and then you just go pick it up there.
Talking with Megan Lukes from Proudevin, class of 2009. She was a homecoming queen, and 2008, now a student at UNI. And, Megan, you know, every little girl's dream is to be a queen of some kind, and you did realize your dream when you were crowned a homecoming queen a couple of years ago. And can you remember how you felt at the time?
Actually, I was really surprised. I had been asking all day where I go when you don't win, and so I wasn't really sure what to do, but they pretty much forced me to walk over to the 50-yard line and go from there, I guess.
So you don't.
I'm very happy though.
So you don't find out till right at the end, there, right? Isn't that how they do it now? You find out as the football game's going, or right at halftime. When does that happen?
Yep, right at halftime. You have no idea until they announce it.
Okay, so it is a total surprise. You know, another thing that was a total great moment. You may have been involved in the play in Turkey Valley's athletic history under the circumstances. You scored a winning run to put your team in the state tournament, but it was a bit of an unusual play. You were in a 2-2 game, yeah, to say the least, right? You were in a 2-2 game with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning, playing the number 1 ranked team in the state for the right to go on, and 1 strike was on the hitter. I think it was Megan Novotny, and you were on first base. Your coach gave you the steal signal. They were totally surprised, right?
Well, I missed the first steal signal.
Yeah.
So the second one caught me by surprise. So I don't blame them for messing up.
And then the ball went into center field, and they muffed it there, and you're coming to third, and they throw the ball away, and it hits the pole just right and squirms. The left fielder was in the right place, but the ball hit wrong, and it got away from everybody, and you score the winning run. How did you feel? Man, that was a great play.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really, really awesome, actually. It felt good. I'd never had anything happen like that in my entire life before, so it was fun. Everybody trampled me when I hit home plate, and then I had about 35 text messages when I got back to my phone. And it's like my dad said, I was just slow enough that they kept throwing the ball after me because they didn't think they could get me, or they thought they could get me, I guess.
In farming, just like in education, to get the best results, you have to start with the proper seed. If you're a farmer and haven't checked out what Seed Solutions Group can do for you, now is the time to do it. Seed Solutions Group is just what the name says. They have the seed solution for your operation that will help you get larger yields next year. With over 20 new corn and soybean products and new technologies, seed traits, and new seed treatments from Northrop King and Channel, Seed Solutions Group certainly is worth talking to. Click on the Seed Solution Group sign on this page to get in contact with Steve Maley or Tom Fye, seed agronomist, and they will help you find a better solution for your seed planting next spring. And if you act now, you'll get huge discounts. So get a hold of Steve or Tom today. It costs absolutely nothing to check it out. And what they have to offer may save you a bunch of money and produce yields much larger than you're enjoying now. Seed Solutions Group, giving the farmer seeds and service for success. Click the sign for more information. Many of you may have seen that modern-day Trojan they had in the school a few years ago. Hannah Achen was the young lady that put that together.
Well, I was approached to make the piece. They wanted a piece of artwork for the entryway to the school, and they just asked for something to do with, a Trojan with the school mascot. And I thought, well, that's cool. I could, paint a Trojan, but it wouldn't be particularly exciting. I really wanted to spice it up a little bit and make something a little bit more contemporary, something that maybe people my age could relate to. So I did some research and looked at some pictures of birds of paradise and different feather patterns in birds, and tried to make a kind of a contemporary Trojan.
Happy 50th, Turkey Valley, and all you great students and parents through the years, from John Cuvelier of Insurance Associates of Lawler. John really is a community guy. He's concerned about what goes on in the Turkey Valley family. He's also someone that will give you absolutely outstanding service when it comes to your insurance needs. Service, something we don't get a whole lot of these days. But John Cuvelier of Insurance Associates of Lawler will give you the best possible service. That is his main selling point. And another biggie, and also falls in line with service, since John Cuvelier is an independent agent, he can look at several companies to find the best possible solution and price for your insurance needs, no matter where you live in Iowa. For your auto, your home, your farm, your crop, your commercial insurance needs, give him a shot. John Cuvelier of Insurance Associates of Lawler. Click on his card on this page for more information. And now from the class of 2002, we have Paul Meirick, and he fills us in on how things were during that period.
Well, it was a really fun time, and it was an exciting time. As far as academics were going, we had people like Mrs. Lynch and Mr. Hansen and Mr. Ullum, and those were some really great teachers, and Mrs. Hangardner specifically, that really did a good job of preparing us to go out for college and into the technical fields too right away. And so they were just really good people to have around us. And then in athletics, it was a fun time too. We had John Reese was a really great runner, so it's fun to see him do win some state titles, and guys like Kyle Costigan were great athletes in all their sports. My dad was my coach, and I had several uncles, and it's fun to see the names that run through the wrestling program, like the Kennons and the Reichses, and now there's a couple Meiricks that are going through too. And so it's just really fun to keep that family tradition going, and I have been able to do some coaching afterwards, and it was fun to help Tom and Greg have some of their success, and then all the other younger Trojans as well. I'm really, really proud of the wrestling tradition that we've had, and it's something that I'll never lose touch with. Even if I'm in a different state, I'm going to be watching the Trojans and seeing how they're doing.
That's Paul Meirick from the class of 2002, now in medical school down at Iowa City, and that's our look at the 2000s in Turkey Valley at 50, brought to you by Seed Solutions Group and John Cuvelier of Insurance Associates of Lawler.